How many of you here have ever been in love? Raise your hands. Okay, that's about it. And how many of you in here have ever had that love affair go? Okay? Didn't you know it, though, before it went, that it was going? Y'all sensed it, right? And in that sensing, you decide, oh, I won't say anything. I'll continue on with this masquerade. It isn't working, but till a better one comes along, I better hang on to what I've got. Well, I'm not too sure that we should hang on to anything. It seems like when you hang on, you get hung up, right? Sometimes we're all in the process of mending a broken heart from something or another, haven't we? How many of you would like to learn how to fall out of love? Well, you fall in love, I'd fall out of love. I'm sure you didn't go into it sensibly and rationally, because love doesn't work that way. It works as some sort of attraction, and you got to have them. Then after you have them, you got to get rid of them before you're had. If you're going to live with somebody and you're going to love somebody, why not live with them and love them? Or tell them you're going to go 80% and that's it. They may not be able to go along with that idea, but it's being honest with them, not getting caught in the honesty trap, because sometimes emotions go up and down according to the time of the day and if it's raining or if the sun is shining. You see, what happens is that we've learned to love a person. And we learn to feel them. We learn to have their hands on us to touch our body. And we grow very accustomed to that. Plus, we fantasize about it. When they're not around, we're thinking about them being around and all the things we'd do to them if they were around. And when they are around, we never do those. We do some of them. It's a process of being honest with them. So when they leave us and they go to someone else and you still love them and they love someone else, the thing that happens here is you keep going back into those patterns of fantasizing and drawing them to you in your mind and your emotions. It's called unrequited love. You see, we can unlearn loving the same way we learned that. And the first key to this is that whenever that person in any way, shape, or form comes into your mind, you just say, stop. Stop. And drive their thoughts right out of your mind. You get a little 3x5 card and you carry it in your pocket. And every time they come in your mind, like on Monday you write a 1. If they come 5 times, you'll have 5 little marks there. Until you get down to the day where there's only 4 marks on a day. And then that person is not being seen in an unloving quality, they're just being seen in a different emotional light. That you see them more clearly as a person rather than as that you idolize and that you worship. So you get to be friendly with them instead of grieving with them and missing them and feeling lonely. We like to think that we're immune to hurts and that maybe we won't get caught up in the new hurt of a new romance. Maybe this will help you. Every time their thoughts come into your mind, say stop and substitute some pattern that you've already thought ahead of time that is really fine, that's fantastic, that's wonderful, that does not include them. Like a walk at the beach, looking at a beautiful tree, anything. So as soon as you stop and drive that thought out of your mind, immediately pull the new one in that is fresh, invigorating, and pull it to you. And hold that, and then let it go. Now, There's added technique. It's called exhaust the response. Remember I did a seminar a long time ago on aversion therapy? The old rubber band, boom. You can add that onto this too. But sit down at least 15 times during the day. Bring the picture of that person into your mind. Think about them consciously. Bring them into your mind, see them, drive them out of your mind, and substitute the new picture of fulfillment, where you have a better self-image of your own beingness, that you are capable, that you have the capacity to be loving and to find love in somebody that will respect you and be with you. Probably 2 weeks before you start to see the results. How many of you here, after 6 months, still feel like you're hung up on somebody? Okay. How many here after 3 months still feel like you're hung up on somebody? That includes you who raised your hand at 6. How many of you after a month are still hung up on somebody? 2 weeks, and you can be on your way out of that pattern. The thing of it is, see, they come in when you're alone by yourself with idle thoughts. At night, by yourself. You roll over and there's nobody there. Too bad. Life gets like that at times. Fantasy doesn't work too well. But neither does grieving about that loved one who's not there work too well. What it does is it makes you tense and tight inside. And so you start identifying your tight, tense muscles with thoughts concerning that person and the emotional feelings dealing with them. So the second key here is you have to get to a deep state of relaxation with your body. And the way you do that is you take the leg and you just tighten all of it, stretch it out and tighten it, hold it for a minute or two, and then release it. Then the right leg, the left arm, the right arm, the stomach, the back, the neck, the head, the face. And with the face, you also stick your tongue out and stretch the mouth. And so when you relax that, you'll find out that you still have tight, tense muscles. Those are the ones that are conveying to you the message of unrequited love. It's not the ones that just seem to be. They're riding on top of stress. And let's call it distress at that. So then you go back and repeat the tightening of the leg, the left leg, the right leg. It could be right leg and left leg. The arms, the stomach, the back, neck, head, face, and release them again. And you'll find out that you'll start getting below that tension that you have grown accustomed to that feels normal to you, that is carrying messages of unrequited love. It's in there. Now see, the way you can prove this is how many times out of the clear blue sky the person comes into your mind and you feel a tense place in your stomach or your back. Or you start to feel tension in your back and you wonder, what's that? And then comes the person's face. See, we carry people inside of us in stored up energy fields. We've stored up childhood incidents, mothers, fathers. But a lot of times, and very few people know this, we store up our lovers inside of us. And when we get out of these affairs, we should get out of these affairs. Far too often we don't get out of it, and we carry it over to the next person. And then we start treating that second person like we treated the first person, because all the muscle responses, the nerves, etc., are reading the same message. And so we start treating them the same way, so we end up divorcing them. Then we go to a third one, and we just keep running down the line. What happens, we start looking for exactly that same person who is subconsciously and in our muscle system is telling us, I caused you distress. And so we find another woman or another man that's just like the one we left. Have you ever seen a person who marries somebody, divorces and marries a second person that's just like the first one? You say, boy, do they have the same thing in common. And this person's got structure that's running him around or her around looking for that. Crazy, sure. Then they say, why? Why am I doing this? And it's like, settle down. And they say, I can't, I'm too nervous. And yet, the key is come to that place where you calm yourself. It's a calming effect, where you actually go inside of your mind and set up a place that is calm, that's peaceful, that's quiet. I think the Inner Calm Meditation Seminar or Portable Paradise could instruct you on that if you need to look at it. So we get a chance to go into that place often. We actually, after you learn to relax, which may take 20 minutes the first time, by continuing the repetition, you can learn to relax in 2 minutes. So you can put your body on notice that when you say a key word like relax now, it just starts relaxing. That relaxation fights with the anxiety you've been carrying. Anxiety and relaxation can't hold the same place. If you don't relax, the anxiety will win and keep running you. It just runs. And then you say, my emotions are running me. It's like, sure. Anxiety can't occupy the same place as pleasant thoughts. Anxiety can't occupy the same place as assertiveness. It can't occupy the same place as a positive self-image. It occupies a space that you've given up to it. And its sister is jealousy. And jealousy never gets you what you want. It makes you hateful, spiteful. Remember Scarlet, Gone with the Wind? You terrible, spiteful, hateful person. It was she that was that. Jealousy was her middle name. Wanted everything but what she had. So we have to realize that jealousy makes us spiteful, and it also makes us incapable of loving. And we're an unloving person. And we really get down to the dregs of life and try to make that valuable by being jealous. And remember the old green-eyed monster of jealousy that was depicted to us in words? They're green-eyed with jealousy. Yeah, the adrenaline goes into the bloodstream much more than usual, and it changes the color of the eyes. It means you're tense. Pretty soon you're going to be exhausted from just overusing the adrenal glands. Then you're under medical care, and who knows, maybe psychiatric, psychological. Not that that's bad. When they're there to be used, that's fantastic. But we don't have to abuse them by us not taking care of ourselves when we know how to do that and being responsible for our own life pattern. Sometimes, though, when you really love a person, this stopping the thinking and driving them from your mind just doesn't seem to work, because any type of thinking brings it back. So you have to add a second part to this. It's called make them look ridiculous in your mind. If you've loved a person, you've been around them enough, you know exactly the thing that is their foible. So when they come into your mind, you immediately see them in that foible, that terribly ridiculous place. It's silent, however. You don't tell anybody. And then you push them away. And then when they come in again, pretty soon they start having this funny image with them. When they come in, instead of feeling the anxiety and the tension, you start to feel the humor. Now, right here is where you have to watch, because you think that humor means it's loving again. It's not. They're still going down the road after somebody else. Don't be a fool. As soon as they think that you no longer love them, they'll make a fast U-turn and come whipping back to stir up interest. Just tell them there's no U-turn where you live. And keep them going down the road. These people are masters at that. Automatically, they have learned how to do this because they were taught by someone else. And we pass this type of heartbreak melodrama onto other people. Of course, it makes us reluctant to go into a loving relationship, because look what's happened to us in terms of all the past relationships. We've been hurt. We've been abused. We've been misused. But only because you allowed it. So getting out of that love affair is valuable to you, because while you're in that state, you're unloving, you're unproductive, you're physically paralyzed, you're non-productive to anyone around you, let alone yourself. And your own feelings of self-esteem become very, very hard to deal with, because they hit rock bottom. If you can hit rock bottom and say, that's fine, I know what this looks like, you've still kept your self-esteem inside of you, and you've done it just as an experiment of life, rather than as a victim of life, or as a tragedy, or an accident waiting to happen. Now, I'd practice this silent ridicule 3 to 5 times a day. 3 to 5. I'll probably say 5 if it's really hard on you. You see, it isn't logical, but then a love affair never has been. But if you look at how you build up loving someone, all we're doing is taking that process and reversing it. Reversing the very process to go right back out of it again. Miss a step and it'll come around and hit you in the head, called law of reversibility. And we're all pretty familiar with that one. What you want to do is build a positive image for yourself. When you see them in a ridiculous state, turn immediately and see the things that you've done that have been positive. Like, I made my bed this morning. I washed dishes today. I said hello to the landlady. A positive thing that you've done, and keep track of them. Write them down. Because you'll forget them, and when a situation comes up that's demeaning to you, and you feel debilitated by the emotions that suck on your consciousness and your energy, pull out your little book and you can see the things you've done. You wrote them when you were doing them. Rereading them fortifies you again of the positiveness of who you are, the same way that you read how that person loved you fortified the positiveness of who you are. But now you're loving yourself, and you're getting your own approval and respect out of yourself by doing things that bring self-approval and respect. How are you going to have a positive attitude unless you do positive things? People say, oh, if I just had a better positive attitude. I was like, that's a miserable one to start with. So you tell them, stand up and do something positive. Feel good in spite of your negativity. They say, well, that's not being honest. Your honesty's got you in this pit. You're going to wait till you feel good before you get out? You'll never get out. Get an image of fulfillment. It's the thing is like, I want more money. Well, then do you see yourself broke or do you see more money? Well, I'll see more money. Well, that's not being honest because you're broke. It's like, I know, but that's how I'll get the money. That's right. And so it works the other way too. You want happiness? See yourself in happiness. And positively envision, image in positive behavior. If you envision a negative behavior, guess what you're going to get? Positive behavior. No. Actually, if you envision enough negative behavior, you exhaust it, and the only thing left is to be positive. It's a long way around. Long way around. 8,400,000 whacks. You see, changing the self-image means thinking more positively about yourself. That's all it means. It doesn't mean a new wardrobe unless that also conveys a new positive self-image about yourself. But you know, in spite of this, we always come to that one place where we even feel like God has forsaken us. We feel like Spirit's down on us, and is there any value left in life? Is there going to be anything worthwhile? It seems like we always end up with that statement, like alone again, naturally. And what we've done there is we run an ego trip that we're somebody separate than Spirit and God, which is part of the big illusion we run. We're not separate. We are not away. We are part of that. The interesting thing is it's like, now that I need God, where is He? Now that I need the Spirit, where is it? Now that I need the loving, where is it? Well, you see, that part is transmitted to the traveler. When you get into that area, the traveler moves in and becomes that counterpart until you can fulfill the karmic destiny. And those are often slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, where you just have to walk through it. Walking through it not in terms of despair, but walking through it in terms of using these techniques of ridding your mind of these paralyzing thoughts of unrequited love, where that person seems to have you and there's nothing you can do about that. And it becomes desperate time. And you start running from person to person to attempting to quiet that love that was there for you at one time. Except what? Remember right in the very beginning I said, you both knew that it wasn't working, and neither one of you wanted to be the first to say goodbye, it's over. The thing that's often bad is that they left first. And it wounded my pride. If I could have left first, that would have been better. I'll tell you something about the person that leaves first. Well, first of all, let me tell you about the person who stays. The person who stays has that bed you both slept in, that couch you both sit on, that table you both ate at, the pictures on the wall, the same toilet. You get what I'm saying? You're going to be haunted by the spirit of the living together in that place. The one who goes immediately is going to be new, strange, unusual territory with the freshness of adventure and curiosity. They're not going to miss you back there with all that mess they walked out of. So it becomes obvious, doesn't it? Move. Sell it, get rid of it, burn it, dump it. You might say, it's too valuable. Is it worth, dollars-wise, what it's doing to you psychologically? Where you may never be able to give that loving heart to someone else and to open up the relationship with someone else. It's not worth it. And that attachment to the material worlds will bring you back here again and again and again. Burn it. Give it away. Give it to Goodwill. Get rid of it. Whatever it takes to get it away from you. Yes, and go get a different wardrobe. Sure, he said, I love you in that blue dress. Get rid of it. Go get a purple one. Okay, light pink. Don't tie yourself to that person's future. Instead of going down past their apartment to see if they still are there, turn one street ahead of time and don't go. It'll make you feel good because you're saying, I didn't give in. Use that stubbornness that stopped you from participating in life to determination to participate the way you want to your advantage, not to your disadvantage. And yet, don't we do that? See, one of our things is we say, well, I wonder if I'm over them. So you go back into all the mere details of the life and find out you're not over them. Because we have residuals left in us from everybody we've contacted. And so we then fight to get away from that draining action, and then we feel bad because we're not over them yet. We're not through with them yet. What we're really saying is, I don't want them to have my power. I'm going to get it back. The way you get it back is not to go into a situation where it's going to be taken from you. And every time you give over to that response, am I really over that? It's the same as like, have I really stopped smoking? I'll smoke a cigarette to see. You must continually, every day, keep making the right decision. You can't just say, well, I'll take this one aspirin and clear up all my headaches from now on. You have to take one each time the new headache appears. You get the idea? You have to keep making the decision over and over and over and over again to your advantage. You can't say, well, I decided once. Why didn't it last? Because it didn't. Why? Don't ask dumb questions. It didn't. What do you do now? I reassert the positive direction. I reassert my affirmation of who I am. I am a loving, upright, trustworthy, courageous person. Remember the Boy Scout creed? Hey, it was no joke. That gave youngsters the words of what life could be, except there were very few people around who could exemplify them as a dynamic image for them. So he said, what does upright mean? I mean, who's upright? What does that mean? We have to get words in our mind of people that demonstrate that ability to us in an ongoing conscious direction daily. Not somebody who fills up and says, I can do it, and the next day they're down and say, I can't do it. But one who says, I'll do it, and when it goes down, they say, I'm still doing it. Because I said I would do it. That type of assertion allows you to get the best out of any occasion without offending someone else. You're no longer at the mercy of your own negligence, which is what it boils down to. Well, for some of you people who are really deep lovers, there's probably going to be one more task you'll have to do. And it's called, well, let's review. After you've done the thought stopping and you become calm, and in the meantime you've found that peaceful place in your imagination, and you do silent ridicule with them, and you do more calming of yourself, and you've dealt with your jealousy because you're asserting yourself and you're doing good things to yourself. After all of that, they still plague you. Rascals. This one will stop it. It's called the repulsive one. Well, look, when you've got powerful weapons used against you, you've got to come on with a powerful weapon to neutralize it. And this is powerful weapon time. You think of them in the most disgusting, revolting way possible. Now, one that just came to mind that I picked up someplace here in this group. I won't mention your name, but to think of them holding a dead rat in their mouth with the ooze coming out, and you are going to kiss them. Yeah. Or something else just as horrendous. You see how that stops your emotions? Put them in a new light. Well, if that doesn't work, just think of them with cottage cheese all over their face. Well, that's as bad? Well, you can make up one. You know what they are. We've all had our experiences with, ugh. And I won't mention somebody's name, but there's somebody who lives in this beautiful building who had an experience of a similar nature that if you could ever find out who it was, you would have a good visual imagery. Now everybody's going to go and find out, who is it? Who is it? Usually I tell, but I'm not this time. Didn't want to make a liar out of myself. I usually do, so it doesn't matter. Here are a few more things to assist you on that. And this is like a gradation effect. The things that you see in your mind that you and that person are doing, that if somebody else were to do those would make you jealous. You put a number on like 40. Like 0 would be no jealousy. I'm in the calm, peaceful jungle by myself. It's wonderful. To 100%, which is the other side, says, they're having sex with so-and-so, my best friend. 0 and 100. And in between there's some place it's like, that one ticks me off a little bit. If they talk to my best girlfriend, that'd tick me off. That's a 30. If they had spent an hour with my best friend, that'd be a 56. They'll make them like a 60. And if they spent 1 hour unaccountable in their apartment together, that'd be an 80. So you can like set these up. So when something comes in and that jealous thought and that anxiousness comes in, instead of saying, I really am ticked off and angry because so-and-so, you can just say, I'm having a 50. That stops you from negatively reinforcing it in your head, again, by repeating those words back to yourself. Or, I'm up to 100! Now, here's how that works. You go into the calming place, relax yourself, and you start going up that scale that you've written. You've written these out, the ones that really irritate you, and you think, okay, I'm relaxed now, and I'm in a beautiful place that has no anxiety, no tension. I'm calm, muscles are relaxed, God is in heaven. What are you doing up there? Get down here and help. Thank you. And then you go up to try 10. Talk to my best friend. You think, no, that didn't do much. I'll try 20. Talk to my best friend and went out to dinner with my best friend. Oh, then go up back down to 10 because 20 now, you're starting to, in your calm state, get irritated, and you'll start locking it into that calm place. So you back off. You drop the 20 and come back to the 10. Get relaxed. Get real calm again, real peaceful. Do the 10. That's a cinch. Go to the 20. Pretty good. Go towards the 30. If it doesn't work, drop back down to the 20. Go into the calm place. Relax. Fortify yourself until you can go all the way up to 100. Do you get it? That changes the neurological, physiological, muscle responses. And you come out of that and you say, Lord, why didn't somebody teach this to me sooner? Well, you're learning it now. Do it now. Then, it doesn't matter what type of relationship you have, you won't have fear of that because you know how to ride on the top of it. And you don't have to worry about being devastated because now you've prepared yourself. They walk away, you say, relax, you go to the relaxed state, say, there they go, it's peaceful, calm. Here comes a new one. My father told me something truthful. He said, son, the cure for a broken heart's another woman. You know, now that's true. So what you have to do is to start going into a new fulfilling relationship. But don't take the old negative relationship responses with you. You're just like Mary. She was a real... It's like, who's Mary? Oh, I didn't tell you about Mary. Mary was a real... She's terrible. And you're calling me, I'm like Mary, out the door. You see, you're putting them on notice. Pretty soon I'm going to be out of love with you because I'm criticizing you and finding fault with you. Look, if they squeeze the toothpaste in the middle, put a little note on it. I would appreciate that you didn't squeeze the toothpaste in the middle, or are you trying to tell me something? Because squeezing the toothpaste in the middle is a way of saying, I don't like your authoritativeness and the way you run me. And this is a subtle way of letting you know that something isn't working. Sit down with them and say, look, I get this toothpaste number. And if they leave socks strewn all over the floor, maybe they're saying what I really want is a mother and a housekeeper, not a lover. Talk to them. Do you want a housekeeper? It might be your mother. What is it? Let's just be honest time. Because there's no need to be in a relationship that's not working for you, that's not honest in where you're going. It's going to end up in a terrible, disastrous place. I tell this to you because I love you, every one of you. And I see the letters I get from you. And I hear what you say to each other. And it gets hard. And going and getting drunk doesn't clear it. It just reinforces the next time you go to have a social drink, you'll get depressed and in despair because you got it locked into that type of action. So now you've ruined a good glass of wine. And the first time you go to have a glass of champagne to christen your baby, it's like, oh, I hate this kid. What are you talking about? The wine did it. Sure. Then you see this with people. They'll start drinking and they drop right into despair because they've not got those things tied with joy and with completion, with fulfillment. They've got it with drowning. And so you have to ask yourself, why is it you want to die? And when did you first want to die? And why did you decide to use that as your execution method? The alcohol or the drugs or whatever it is. Going back and understanding resentment and jealousy doesn't cure it. You've got to do a step-by-step progression to eliminate it. And I've given it to you. In the last analysis, it's your life. Make of it as you will. It's yours. And blame whoever you want to blame for all the ills and everything that's fallen to you, and they won't cure them up inside of you. Now you've got misery on top of the incident that happened. And to you sit around miserable and think people are going to beat the door down to get to you because you're loving as another one of those fallacies, one of those infant fantasies that you have. They'll kill you. You're not maturing and getting involved in it. In the last analysis, after all is said and done, we are very foolish. We go find another love affair. After all the relationships have been disastrous upon us, we go look for another relationship. And in that, we avoid the relationship with ourselves to find out what it is I'm carrying over to give to someone else. I'm not just giving them my love and joy, I'm also giving them my anxieties and my tensions and my deep repressions and my angers and my hostilities. Because you see, most people are fighting for what's already theirs. the love, the joy. And so they walk around angry and hostile, disguising it as everything in the world, fighting for what is theirs. Their own love is present. Because after we look at it, and after we come to the final analysis of all things, I have a song here I'd like you to listen to. No, I don't, huh? Well, how about that? I'll tell you what, we won't even have to listen to it. I'll sing it for you. Well, you know I lied on that one. But did you notice I got you out of all your negative, hurt feelings about that unfortunate love affair? Didn't change anything, did we? Just the light in which you see it. Just the emotional quality by which you involve yourself, and the thinking by which you direct yourself. That's all we're doing, is changing that. In the last analysis, love conquers all. It always has. But not the love of lust, and not the love of unrequited beingness, not the love of giving your power over to someone else. Not that type of love. The type of loving where you want what is best for them, even if it means they're with somebody else. And that's a hard one. And yet, if it's not that, what is it? It will always miss the mark. It'll always be less. And often when we find out that that one we're loving, that we're in love with, and it's not gelling, we immediately start to find and look for that reason, or some reason, whatever we want to make it to be, that is sitting in there as a rock in your shoe. That's irritation, that will drive you apart, or tear you away from each other. And if it isn't A that you decide it will be, if that disappears because that isn't it, then it will be number B or C or D or E. Or whatever it is you want to make it out to be, you can find ample reason to justify that. Except what? You drift apart. And so you blame Susie because Susie stepped between Harry and John and Marcia and Marion and whoever else is down the line. She's getting everybody. Except for one thing. Why didn't you take care of your loving space when you're with that one you said you loved? Did you start treating them like the last love affair? Did you start treating them less than the own image of yourself? That person ought to be very glad they've got you, because after all, God lives in you also. And so they don't like your personality. They're not perfect. They're changing. We adapt and adopt to the last smile that we've heard, and the last laugh we've heard, and the last this that we've seen, and the last that we've been involved with, and the last person we saw walking cute, we emulate that. We often look in the mirror and say, will the real person please step forward? I don't know who I am. I sing like Judy Garland, and walk like Elizabeth Taylor, and drop names like who knows who. If you don't want to live your life, it'll live you. And it will live you in the most disrespectful ways. If you won't stand up for yourself, and that doesn't mean put other people down or hurt them or demean them. It doesn't mean I'll be great because I'll make you look bad. See, if I'm depressed and I bring you down to my level, doesn't make me feel joyful. I'm still depressed. I just got you there. And I'm still depressed. Now there's two of us. And misery loves company to a point. All of a sudden it hurts. And that hurting says, get up and move. And those people we've sworn fidelity to, and we're going to be with till the day we die, 10 years from now we say, what was their name? I was talking to some people at lunch the other day. And I said, I remember when I grew up in high school with my friends and athletics and the circle of girls we were dating, that we all thought we'd get married to this group and we'd live together and we'd all live down this one house together, at least in this one house, maybe in the same room. And we'd all be close forever and a day. I don't have one of those people around me today. Not one of them. And I even forget their names. And I have to go back to situations to dig up who they are. In fact, the other day I was talking to some people that I'm related to physically. And I said, oh, by the way, how's so-and-so? I said, it died 5 years ago. And I said, is that right? I said, well, nevertheless, how are they? And they said, just fine. I said, oh, great. Nevertheless, regardless of the situation you're in, how are you? Nevertheless. And it's like saying, I'm down, but that's okay because I'm going up. And I'll probably go down again, but that's okay because I'll go up. In the movement, we have found a few things. Today's high is tomorrow's low. Except we're carrying along a lot of the same habits, so we think we're not gaining because those habits go with us. We're carrying them in the muscle structure, in the nerve structure, in the emotional structure, in the mental structure, because we did not drive them out and get rid of them and let the toxins of that negative response in our life clear. We kept them to ourselves. Now it's time to detoxify. It's time to let that go. And it doesn't mean try to do something rapidly. Just take it as it comes. I've laid out a course for you. You follow that, you'll have success. It's not designed to fail. After all the years I've been talking with you people, everything I've told you has been designed for your success. Even talking in the negative terms so you could see it was designed to let you know where it is so you could have success. In the midst of negativity, you could have success. In the midst of despair, you could step out of it and do it anyway. Again, this is what we're dealing with. Now, a lot of people don't like that, see, because it takes away the crutch of their own support, where they can blame you for their inabilities. If we use that will that is ours to just keep standing up, we'll be flowing with life. We have to take life as it comes. Our attitude towards it is what gives us the difficulty, not the way it comes. It comes perfectly for us, with each lesson for us. And we're laying out all those lessons for ourselves, and when they come in, we cuss them. We say, I don't want that. It's like you programmed it. I still don't want it. Eat it. All right, I'll eat it. I have to. It's all over me. Then eat it so there's none left. You see, when you do something, do it until it's completed. Finish it. Do the thought stopping till those thoughts on that person stop. Till they're out of your mind in terms of that loving, unrequited response. And then let them just come forward as a person that you can love and respect as part of God's kingdom. Not one who debilitates you and rips you apart. And you never look at them again in terms of that close, intimate, loving response. You look at them in terms of the living love. Just love them, let them go. And you would help them like you would help somebody else without committing yourself to that position again where you've given away your power. But share your strength by assisting where you can. And don't get caught up in these foolish things of what you think they're going to do. They're going to do what they do, and you can trust that. You can trust that. That doesn't mean they're going to do what you can trust, but they're going to do what they do. And it may not be to your advantage, and you can trust that to happen. Beru Spatian.